The Tipping Point with Mike Tipton is brought to you by Dubby. What is Dubby? Dubby is a clean energy drink that is made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or angst like those other energy drinks have. They also have no maltodextrin fillers and don't use artificial dyes. Dubby contains vitamins, amino acids, a nootropic, and 150 milligrams of caffeine. Dubby's products are made in the USA in an FDA-inspected facility that strictly adheres to GMP manufacturing guidelines. All of the flavors are unique and custom-made by Dubby, and you'll never taste our taste anywhere else. The best part about it is they're affordable. Dubby's drinks come out to about $1 per drink, much cheaper than Starbucks or any of those canned energy drinks. To learn more, visit w.gg.com/discount/MRTipton33 and place your order today. Use promo code MrTipton33 and save today. Dubby Energy, be better. What's going on, everybody? I want to tell you about my new friends over at Cleverman. Visit them online at becleverman.com. What they gave me was the energizing face and beard scrub along with the Cleverman face scrubber. And trust me when I say this, the energizing face and beard scrub smells amazing. Combining it with the face scrubber, making sure that your boy was looking as good and sexy as possible, opened up a whole different sensation in my face that I haven't ever felt before. I felt so clean, so fresh, and so clean, like Outcast said, and it helped me feel like I was ready for my day. Make sure you visit them online at becleverman.com and follow them on Instagram at clevermannyc. The link is up in my bio if you want to check out all the amazing products they have. Visit them online, becleverman.com. It is the Tipping Point with Mike Tipton, hanging out with you here on a Tuesday morning. I hope everyone is having themselves a fantastic day. If you're in El Paso enjoying the rain, I know I am. Yes, we get a little bit of rain every now and then in El Paso, but it feels like we've been getting a lot more rain. But we are live on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Instagram, where Annette Aniite has joined in along with Eddie Mag 2003. Thank you so much for being a part of today's show. Our dude B Strilla saying good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, Strilla. Hope that you are having yourself a fantastic day. I'm debating on something, and normally whenever I debate on it, I lose the debate, so I'm just going to talk about it anyway. And this is the New York shooter that was targeting the NFL headquarters, according to New York City's Mayor Eric Adams. The gunman that killed 4 people at the Manhattan office building was trying to target the NFL headquarters, but took the wrong elevator. Now, I don't know if you heard about this last night or not. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that word now that I think about it, but I've been saying it long enough. Oh, well. He went pew pew. You get that a lot on like TikTok lives and stuff like that. Luckily, we're not live on TikTok, but if you didn't know what was going on last night, a shooter goes into a building in downtown Manhattan, kills 4 people, then himself as well. And I always have a hard time with this stuff because like it is leading the sports world right now because it is bringing in, and like Richie says, good morning, sir. Yes, it's an absolute tragedy. And it is like, I was reading some messages earlier, and it's like, oh, you know, this dude, mental health issues, things like that, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, okay, I get it. I understand. I know where this is all coming from. We want to make sure people are mentally taken care of. People are mentally stable. People are doing the things that they need to do in order to make sure that they are taking care of themselves. However, it's going to be difficult to figure out. Like, I know they said that there was a letter, right? I want to read this article here saying investigators believe that Shane Tamara was trying to get into the NFL offices after shooting several people in the building's lobby, but accidentally entered the wrong set of elevator banks. Adams said in Tuesday morning's interview, 4 people, including an off-duty New York City police officer, were killed. Police said Tamara had a history of mental illness and found a rambling note on his body that suggested a grievance against the NFL over an unsubstantiated claim that he suffered from CTE. Bistro saying that he was Vegas. It was reported. He was from Vegas. It was reported. The Crooked Commish saying, what's good, Money Mike? What's good with you, Crooked Commish? Hope that you were having yourself a fantastic day today. It makes you wonder, right? Like I wonder, and this stuff will come out in the future. Like, okay, what was the cause of this? Like how was his mental state prior to, like, all that stuff, right? Like it's obviously something that'll come out in the future with those types of things. My whole thing is, how can you prevent tragedies like this from happening? And I guess that the issue to that is you really can't, right? And it's sad that there's such a loss of life, and it's sad that there was an individual that felt like this was a way to get some of the stuff done, or awareness for some of the stuff that he was talking about or wanting to get done. Our dude Tommy can also tune in and say, good morning, Tip. Good morning to you, Tommy. Hope that you're having a great day. I see my dude Hazelnut tuning in over on Instagram Live right now as well. Richie saying, I am just scared that mental illness will continue to be a crutch for evil. I agree with you on that one as well. You see it time and time again. That's exactly what Richie is saying right here a bunch of times as well. Yeah, like, I guess that's one of the issues that you come up with, right? Is like, how long? And that's what my next question was going to be. How long can you rely on using mental health as a sword and not a shield? And I talk about that a lot in other conversations. Like you have people that, oh, I'm this way because of my mental health. I'm mean to you. I'm rude to you. I'm whatever it is to you because of my mental health. They're using it as a sword. They're attacking. They're doing those types of things, as opposed to using it as a defense for things, right? I'm sorry I didn't show up to your event. I was dealing with a mental health issue at this time, right? There are big differences between using mental health as a sword and as a shield. And I feel like in this case, it's being used as something that's negative. I'm someone that deals with a lot of mental health issues. A lot of, I don't speak about it consistently, but it's something that I do deal with. I've been diagnosed with manic depression, bipolar disorder, PTSD, etc., right? Like anxiety, all that type of stuff. I have been diagnosed with that stuff. I get medication for it. So there's a part of me that sits back and thinks to myself, come on, man, like you can't constantly be using mental health as a sword, like the reason for your attacks, the reason that you're doing these things. And I feel like the more that, like we're seeing it more and more. I think that's where the frustration with me comes in, is that we're seeing this more and more. I love that Tommy has the nickname now, El Chingon Tommy. I'm loving the little community that we're building over on YouTube. It's our little community. I like Tommy. I don't know why I didn't get the comment yesterday, Tommy, where you said, what's up, Facebook Tippies? I wish I could have shared that one on the screen as well. The Tippies on YouTube, the Tippies on Facebook, the Tippies on soon to be back on Roku and all those things, working those deals out. Man, it's a headache. It really is. It's a massive headache trying to deal with a lot of this stuff. Nonetheless, USA, we move on, we persevere, we do our thing. I hate saying it like this, but I guess thoughts and prayers, right? Like there's no real way of dealing with what it is, the tragedy that people woke up to this morning, people fell asleep to last night. There's no way of dealing with that unimaginable tragedy. And I was thinking about it, man. It felt like an apropos ending for yesterday, because then you had, Deion Sanders coming out talking about his cancer diagnosis that he had. Bladder cancer. University of Colorado football coach Deion Sanders announced Monday that he underwent surgery to remove his bladder, and doctors discovered a tumor there. Sanders said that since the surgery, there have been no traces of cancer, and that he will continue to coach this season. It's a packed touchdown club. In a packed touchdown club at Dahl Ward Athletic Center, Sanders was both serious in tone as well as celebratory and full of humor about what he had been through, and appeared with Dr. Janet, I'm not going to even try to pronounce that last name, Kukrasia, Director of Urological Oncology at the University of Colorado Cancer Center. Tommy Canasta saying, I didn't hear what happened. There was a shooting at an office building that housed the NFL offices. The shooter apparently had a note on his body saying that he was targeting the NFL offices. However, he went up the wrong elevator and was still killed 4 people, and then himself along with it as well, blaming it on CTE, saying that he had CTE of some sort. Richie saying, super glad that Prime is all good. I always wish him the best, but I do expect him to build a statue of himself. That will more than likely happen. I mean, if Shador is going to get a statue and his jersey retired and all that stuff, Prime's going to have a statue. He'll get like 5 seasons of coaching at Colorado and then have a statue over there. Colorado will finish 1 game above 500. Warranting the statue. I mean, obviously, you get your number retired if you go 1 game above 500. If you're a coach and you have a record of 1 game above 500, it equals a statue. We know this. We've seen this. It's the way it should be. Yeah, Tommy, it was a weird thing to see last night. Also, Tommy, were you able to watch Happy Gilmore 2? I was listening to a show yesterday, and they were talking about Happy Gilmore 2, and they were so critical of it. They're like, "Oh, it was so cheesy. It was this. It was that. It was blah 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 blah." And my question to you is: have you not ever seen an Adam Sandler movie before? Have you not ever seen Happy Gilmore? Right, like the whole premise of Happy Gilmore is so outlandish and outrageous that it's almost just too much, right? Like it's borderline too much. I watched Happy Gilmore. Yeah, Richie saying people are actually shitting on Happy Gilmore 2. Did they expect a Nolan masterpiece? And that's what I'm asking. That's what I meant. Like I watched Happy Gilmore 2. It was better than I thought it was going to be because my expectations for it were super low because it's an Adam Sandler movie. I wasn't expecting, Gone with the Wind or Casablanca or anything like that. I was expecting Happy Gilmore 2, and I got Happy Gilmore 2. So for me, I'm just like, come on, man. Tommy's saying, bro, I did not watch it. I fell asleep early like the old man that I am. Beast Drill saying Happy Gilmore 2 was dope. I thought it was too. It was funny, right? Like there were a couple of really good laughs. Like you have to be a sports fan to get some of the jokes that were a part of it. But it's like, okay, I get people are going to be like, oh, there was a lot of cameos. What Adam Sandler movie doesn't have a ton of cameos? Yes, they went over the top, but they had all the professional golfers that they could possibly get being in there. WWE wrestlers like Becky Lynch, Reggie Bush was a part of it. Like it was just fun. Like it was everything that you expected Happy Gilmore 2 to be. And I wasn't expecting like the vitriol and the hatred that some people had towards Happy Gilmore 2. Like it's a comedy. What were you expecting? Augustine saying people think They are critics and can't enjoy a movie like The Naked Gun, LOL. I'm looking forward to The Naked Gun. One of my former senior master sergeants, Chief Lawrence Sims, tuning in right now saying, shout out to you, Mike. Shout out to you as well, Chief Sims. A complete inspiration on here, someone that's been supporting this crazy nonsense of mine since day one. And I appreciate the love and the support. It always makes me happy anytime I get to see Chief Sims being a part of the show. 12 years, or wow, 13 years. 13 years this year in September since I've been out of the military. That is wild to think about how quick that went. I have to remember it coincides along with my oldest son's birth. His birth 1 month to the day. 1 month to the day. Augustine saying another crazy butt. LOL. I don't know what you're talking about there, Augustine. Man, it's crazy how I went from talking about Deion Sanders having cancer to right into Happy Gilmore 2. See, my dude J-Train has tuned in right now on Instagram. J-Train Express 1975. Tuning in over on Instagram. Remember, we are live on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook. We are everywhere out there. Hopefully soon. Back on Roku, Apple TV. A couple of other people like that. August is saying, I mean, another person that has followed since the inceptions. Since the inception of this show. Yeah, you got to be a little crazy to be following from day one, like Augustine, like Tommy, like Senior Sims, everywhere except X. Yes, that's where we are. Richie asking, am I going to be dialed into SummerSlam? Oh man, this is a tough one for me, Richie. I see my dude J-Train saying, what's up, Tip? What's up with you, J-Train? Hope that you are doing well. I am dialed in. However, I'm not going to be able to watch day one of SummerSlam. I got you right now. J-Train. I'll read that in just a second. I'm not going to be able to watch day one of SummerSlam because I will be working. I have taken a new position with Mountain Star Sports Group where I'm going to be helping out with the audio that they have on the TV broadcast, along with in the club, all throughout the stadium, places like that. We're trying to make the audio experience a lot better, so I've taken on a new position there, and that'll be one of the things that I'm going to be doing this Saturday, as the El Paso Locomotive are going to be here in town taking on their stuff. So I'm not going to be able to watch day one of SummerSlam, but you can guarantee on Sunday it's basically going to be all day long a SummerSlam, like going back to how it was with WrestleMania whenever I had the 24-inch pythons, brother. There you go, J-Train. So I will be watching SummerSlam all day Sunday. It's just going to be a grotesque amount of wrestling that I'm going to be watching on Sunday. Richie saying, raw, good stuff. I was going to work with Haggerty as his assistants before I ended up taking this assignment. That is awesome. Congrats, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love and the support. It's one of those, a lot of people don't realize this about the journey that I took coming back to El Paso. The first job I had in El Paso, whenever I came back from Alaska, wasn't like radio stuff. It was as an usher for the El Paso Chihuahuas. And I wind up leaving that job because I get my internship to work with KTEP and then Steve Kaplowitz and all that stuff. But my very first sports job I had was working in the stadium with the El Paso Chihuahuas. So I'm getting this full circle moment coming back here where I will be working with the Chihuahuas in a higher capacity now in a field that I absolutely love. So I'm excited about what the future is going to be as I do this stuff with Mountain Star Sports Group. Our guy J-Train saying, yeah, bro, RIP to Hulk Hogan. 100%. Complicated legacy, but you know what? What hero doesn't? What hero doesn't have a complicated legacy? Sometimes, well, let me tell you something, brothers. Every now and then you just got to flex those 24-inch pythons. I got to add a little more. I've been working out, but my pythons aren't 24 inches. Got to get them back. You can see the lats, though. You flex the lats a little bit, you can start seeing them up here at the top. Been working out a little bit. I got goals. I haven't mentioned this goal, but I'm going to say it out to y'all so I can hold myself accountable. I want to start running 5Ks. I want to start running marathons and things like that. Like, I know I've got to lose weight, and it's one of the motivators for me to lose weight. I got to find a way to help stabilize my knee too as I'm doing this stuff. But my goal by the time I'm 45 years old is that I want to do the marathon, the world marathon. It's the 7 and 7 and 7. So 7 by 7 by 7, which is 7 marathons on 7 different continents in 7 different days. You basically fly out, you run your marathon, you get back on the plane and fly out again. Like, that's what my goal is going to be by the time I'm 45. So I got 4 years to get this done. I want to have my first marathon by the time February comes around. So I got a couple of months to get into shape, get into running shape. I've been walking, I've been doing all that stuff, losing the weight. I've lost 20 pounds since the beginning of the year. So I want y'all to help keep me as motivated as I possibly can be, because running sucks. It sucks so bad, but it's a goal of mine that I want to do. J Train saying, good for you, bro. Health is wealth, 100%. I got to get back into the healthier lifestyle like I had whenever I was in the military. I made the joke the other day. I guess it was yesterday while I was in a work meeting. I left the Air Force at 215 pounds, and that was the heaviest I had ever been in my life. And then I realized I don't have to run anymore. I made excuses about, like, my knee, the issues I have with my knee. If you don't know, I've had multiple ACL surgeries, and on my left leg, it's the pins and needle feeling, like there was some nerve damage there with the surgery. So it feels like it's always asleep. So those high impacts kind of bother it a lot. And that's what I mean by I've got to find a way to stabilize my knee. I got to find a way to, like, help stabilize my leg if I'm going to be doing a lot of these runnings and things like that. So that's the goal. 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 different continents by the time I am 45 years old. That sounds like a nightmare. It sounds like I'm a glutton for punishment. As Augustine would say, it's part of being a Cowboys fan, the glutton for punishment. That is Michael Tipton. How the hell did we end up on this topic? Jesus Christ. I don't even feel like I'm driving my own show today. Like, I am and I'm not at the same time. Nonetheless, we are moving along. We're chugging along. There's not a whole lot going on in the world of sports, guys. So throw me a bone. I got to try to be entertaining in some aspect. A lot of people took time off during this time of the year. I didn't. J Train saying strength exercises are better than running. I tore 2 ACLs as well. I don't run anymore long distance, and that's my thing. So in total, I've had 6 surgeries on my legs, and it was a completely ruptured ACL. So they had to create a new ACL for me by taking out a part of my patellar tendon, anchoring it in on the side of my bone. So I got, like, some nice cool scars on my knee. On my right ACL, that was an arthroscopic surgery, so I got the little side scar and all that stuff. But man, ankles, all that kind of stuff, man. Like, I whenever I say I'm aging like a banana, I am 100% aging like a banana. Man, I'm an old guy, guys. I'm a really old guy. J Train saying same type of surgery for me. There we go. Look at that. ACL reconstruction brothers. Now let me tell you something, my ACL brother. Augustine saying LOL now. Religion? I mean, we can talk. I got a different view of religion than most people. I grew up in a very, very Christian household. Whenever we'd get in trouble, mom and dad would whoop our ass and then make us read the Bible in the dictionary. That's why you'll hear me break out the $1,000 words every now and again. I try not to because I'm also from Socorro. I might not know what a lot of those words mean. That's a joke. Augustine letting us know that Luis Diaz got sold to Bayern Munich for £65.5 million. Medical today and signing the contract with the German Giants. Tommy saying, seriously, Tip, thank you for being here all through the dead sports period. We found our way. We found our way. We against all odds, Tommy, against all odds, we found a way to get through this. And now I see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're going to have the Hall of Fame game on Thursday. We're right there. We're right there. Baseball, you haven't been giving me much. It's been fun at times, but you haven't been giving me much. The NBA, you carried us through June, but man, July was a tough one for us, boys and girls. It was a real tough one. I also have to remember that I do a show on Saturday every now and again called Bob, Jim, and Pat Get Drunk on the Internet, and I just got an email right now confirming that I bought another wrestling action figure. This time going all the way back to the WCW days of having of getting Disco Inferno. If you don't know who Disco Inferno is, I do not blame you one bit. But I just got an email saying that my eBay order of Disco Inferno is being set to my house. So I'll be able to jam out with Disco Inferno. If I'm not mistaken, as the alcohol was being consumed, it's a Disco Inferno that looks like he's wearing the Giant Gonzalez suit. J-Train saying, not to flex a brand, but variable resistant bands work as well. The X3 is great for me. You work out 15 to 20 minutes a day only. I can get you more info regarding a game changer at 50, bro. I am in better shape than people half my age. And saying the Tramps. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about with the Tramps. What Tramps are we talking about? I know a few Tramps. We're turning it into that type of show today? All right. All right. That's my kind of show. All right. I'm trying to remember who that is that makes that voice. Oh, that's Quagmire. Ugh, problematic. Probably shouldn't be doing the Quagmire. All right. Giggity, giggity. I wonder how many different voices. Oh, the Tramps sang Disco Inferno. Well, this is a wrestler. This is a wrestler named Disco Inferno. Yep, I saw that earlier today as well. Tommy Cananto saying the Dallas Cowboys starting left tackle is out at least 4 to 6 weeks. He is so lucky. So lucky. As Tyler Guyton is the guy that we are talking about right now for the Dallas Cowboys. Tyler Guyton not going to have ACL surgery. They're saying that that's something that they were worried about with the Dallas Cowboys. He did not tear his ACL in his right knee during Monday's practice. I saw that come through that Tyler Guyton had to be helped off the field. And I started thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, man. Like, it's training camp, and we're starting to see injuries pile up for the Dallas Cowboys. And my whole thing was, if the Dallas Cowboys can stay healthy, if it was all about if the Dallas Cowboys could stay healthy. We're just starting, guys. We're just there. It's just the tip of training camp.
I just want to put the tip in.
It's time for
Just a Tip.
That would make me uncomfortable.
Promise that it ain't too much, but just enough. Just a tip. Just a tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
It's time for Just the Tip.
Just the Tip is brought to you by our friends over at www.myhappynuts.com. Check out myhappynuts.com. Guys, take care of yourself all year long from your pits to your tip. You don't want to smell bad. You don't want to do the stanky leg. You want to make sure everything is taken care of. So www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout. Save on all your male grooming needs. Even get rid of that amazing bush that you've had since 1972. Get rid of it. God, I wonder how many of this audience was actually born in 1972, now that I think about it. But nonetheless, get rid of it. No one wants the disco bush like we got with Disco Inferno. Trim that shit with the bulber. Go to www.myhappynuts.com. Use promo code Mike Tipton at checkout and save on all your male grooming needs. That has to be one of my worst reads that I've ever done, but I was happy with it. I almost got through it without laughing. The fact that I don't write any of this stuff down whenever I do the My Happy Nuts reads, I really should. One of these days I should. I should just start writing down what I've said and turn it into a book. Take care of yourself, guys, from the pits to the tip. Can't be more serious. J-Train over on Instagram saying, you mean you don't like the Bob Ross look? Nobody should be Bob Rossing it up. I'm a hairy man. You can tell by looking at me. I am hairy. That's why I've got to have the bulber. I'm not the Zohan. I don't care. I don't want the bush to be the biggest. I'm not the Zohan. You got to trim that. And you do it with the bulber. One of these days I feel like My Happy Nuts is going to take their sponsorship away from me. They're going to be like, we've heard some of the stuff that you said, and we don't want to be associated with you. Would you please stop referencing your tip? Jesus Christ. I got to stop. Tommy Cananza saying the Dallas Cowboys have basically lost Robert Jones for the season. Yeah, it's so, oh, man. And that'll be the thing is he's going to be, and that's what he was there for anyway, was depth. So for the Dallas Cowboys, you're going to have like issues along the depth. Tyler Guyton being hurt, like hopefully he's back and 100%, which is going to be paramount for the Dallas Cowboys that he gets to 100%. Because if not, then it helps create some of the issues that they had last year, which was along the offensive line, a revolving door along the offensive line. And you cannot be, no matter how much talent is on your team, you cannot be successful if your offensive line is Swiss cheese. So what I thought was a strength, we're now starting to look at is like, oh man, we've got a couple of injuries on this offensive line. The depth pieces are starting to get hurt. Tyler Guyton's starting to be hurt. I'm a big fan of Awesome Richards anyway. So I hope that he comes in and like it wasn't too far of a drop off between Awesome and Tyler Guyton anyway. So it should be all right. The Dallas Cowboys will be all right. Or maybe I'm just saying that to myself. I'm in the corner in the fetal position just crying like everything's going to be okay. The Cowboys will be all right. I think they're going to be all right. 17-0. 17-0. I said it. 17-0. They're going to win the division. Just ugly crying too. Like I don't picture myself being like a handsome crier. I'm a handsome man. Don't get me wrong. But I don't think I'm a handsome crier. I've never seen myself cry. Not like Chris Paul, who was crying yesterday, being reintroduced as the point guard for the LA Clippers, calling it, quote, a no-brainer. 8 years. It's been 8 years. I didn't think that it had been that long for Chris Paul to have played with the Clippers. And then I had to think about that, right? You had that stop in Houston. He was there for a while. OKC. Was he in Phoenix as well? Like he was a bunch of different places. I gotta look at this. I know he was recently in San Antonio. Got to find out what teams Chris Paul played for because I know there's a stop. Yeah, wow, there was 2 stops. Yeah, 8 years. Tommy's saying the same thing. Damn, it's really been that long. That's what I was thinking too. 8 years. That's wild. Absolutely wild since the Lob City days. Man. And those Lob City Clippers, those were some fun teams to watch, man. Like they really were. It was just so like I don't want to say peak basketball because like they didn't win a championship, but it was just fun basketball to watch. So from the LA Clippers, he spent 2 years with the Houston Rockets, a year with Oklahoma City, 3 years with the Phoenix Suns, which is kind of odd to me, 1 year with the Golden State Warriors, and a year with the San Antonio Spurs. Tommy Kanata saying, didn't he play with the Suns too? He 100% played with the Suns. 3 years with the Suns. I don't know. I don't realize, like, I thought it was less than 3. I thought it was like a year that he played with the Suns. Finally back home in LA where he's more than likely going to retire. Tommy Kanata saying, if I was Jerry, I'd be on the phone with Tyron Smith right now. Trying to coax him out of retirement. Try to bring him back. Shout out to _Brit_Mac tuning in over on Instagram. I missed a couple of other people that tuned in over there. I like having a small little Instagram audience. I always feel awkward for people that are there. Like J-Train, I appreciate you tuning in. But you can come over to YouTube. We got the crowd over at YouTube. Mainly because I don't like the way like the Instagram model looks. Cleaner over on YouTube. Much cleaner over on YouTube. Yeah, if I'm Jerry Jones, what is still available? The website I think I've used the most this year, other than the hub. That's a joke only for people in Texas because we don't get the hub. Like let's see what's out there that's available for the Dallas Cowboys in free agency. It's not a lot. Oh man, yeah. You know what? I am 100% correct. 100% correct. Tommy, you are right. They should be on the phone right now with Tyron Smith trying to bring him back, begging him to come back because what's out there in free agency? Not good. Not good at all. J-Train saying Chris Paul should change his name to Johnny Cash because he's been everywhere, man. He's been everywhere, man. He's been everywhere. I think about that a lot, right? Like even with Shaq. Shaq was on a million teams. Let's see if I can get them off the top of my head. It was Orlando, LA, Miami, Phoenix, Boston, Cleveland. And I want to say I'm missing a team here. Let's look up. I want to say Shaq was on 7 teams, but if I only got 6. Yeah, we've only got 6. Orlando, LA, Miami, Phoenix, Cleveland, and Boston. Man, nothing says Shaquille O'Neal quite like the Boston Red Sox or the Boston Celtics. Tommy Kanansa saying, I remember when I was the only one on YouTube. So do I, Tommy. You are the YouTube OG. Number 1 fan on YouTube. I gotta find something for you, like a shirt or something like that to send out your way. They could also move Tyler Smith out to left tackle and just play TJ Bass or Brock Hoffman at left guard. I think that's more than likely what they're going to do. J-Train saying, I made the switch, bro. There we go. Growing the YouTube community. Instagram is like where you come in, you get introduced to the tip. You get just the tip. You want more? You come over to YouTube. I appreciate that. Thank you, J-Train, for being a part of the show. Maybe we got to call this the tip hub. The tip hub. J-Train saying gross, bro. You should know by now. I always love it whenever I talk with my friends on the National Streaming Sports Network, because I still wonder if they get a part of my humor, how I don't take anything seriously, and I will find the joke no matter how many times I can find the joke. I started a debate the other day just to throw a grenade out there to see if I can do it, and I did it. Tommy Connaught's saying that the Dallas Cowboys have Awesome Richards, but I don't know if I trust that dude to protect Dak's blind side. That's why I'm saying, like, I might put him on the right side. Do you trust Terrence Steele, though? But yeah, like I do like the move of putting Tyler Smith out there, because I think that that's initially what they drafted Tyler Smith to do anyway. And you can have our guy, our favorite guy, Brock Hoffman. He's a dog. Brock Hoffman. Getting in there. And you just got the big, beefy men slapping meat with other big, beefy men. Oh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to watch the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. It's probably not. I'm probably way overselling it, but I'm in now. I am 100% in. I've been called an idiot on the internet. Oh no, the internet thinks I'm dumb. Not realizing I'm playing them like marionettes. I got played, or I put out to the internet that I believe the Dallas Cowboys are going to go 17-0. They're like, Mike, you're an idiot. No one likes you. You're adopted. Your parents don't even love you. I cried a little bit at that one. And Brock Hoffman is a dog. He is our favorite offensive lineman on this show. Also, I got to give y'all an update as I see my guy Louis Bougie tuned in over on Instagram. I got to give y'all a little update. Our talks with the Jacksonville Jaguars of getting credentialed by the Jacksonville Jaguars, because they are going to be our second favorite team on this show. The Jacksonville Jaguars, the talks have commenced there. We're having a great conversation. I might start getting a lot of swag from the Jacksonville Jaguars. Our second favorite team on this show. Maybe we go to London. That would be fun. I wonder if there's like another show out there that does that type of silly shit. That's like, you know what? We love our team, but we have to find another team to make us happy, to make us complete. So let's go out and get the Jacksonville Jaguars. Nothing will make you happier than the Jacksonville Jaguars. We got to start getting Jaguar stuff, Tommy. J-Train, Augustine, Richie, everyone else that's tuned in on the various channels. Ray, whenever he comes in, we've all got to get at least one Jacksonville Jaguars thing. They're supporting this show the way that y'all are supporting this show. We got to show some love to the Jacksonville Jaguars, the future London Jaguars. It's got a ring to it, doesn't it? The London Jaguars. Man, talking about Chris Paul and Shaquille O'Neal. It makes you wonder, like, and I guess you can put LeBron on this as well. And it's also crazy to think that LeBron has spent longer time with the Lakers than he did with the Cleveland Cavaliers the first time he was with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Oh, come on, Tommy. Don't do that. We love our Jacksonville Jaguars here. Duval. Oh, that guy messed it up so bad. It's funny. I got to remember who their coach is. I can't even remember his name right now. But like talking about those types of players, like it makes me remember we had the Hall of Fame and stuff like that, right? And then you got guys that are constantly being pushed around, or not pushed around, but like They bounce around team to team, team to team. And you see like their plaque on the Hall of Fame, and it says like they played with this team and 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 this team. I wonder who there we go, Liam Cohen. You got to get it right. I'm looking up who the Hall of Famer is that's played with most teams. Oh, wow. The Hall of Fame baseball player who played with the most teams is Dan Brothers, who played for 11 different teams. That is crazy. Roberto Alomar. I didn't realize Roberto Alomar played for 7 teams. Goose Gossage played for 19. What the hell? Ricky Henderson, I can see playing for 9 teams because he played for damn near 40 years. I'm looking at a picture right now. I've got to bring this up. Dan Brothers. I know it's riveting radio anytime that I get quiet, but I need to introduce Dan Brothers to this audience because I should not be the only person basking in the amazing baseball history of Dan Brothers. This man played for 11 baseball teams, and I feel like the time that he played, like when did he play? I'm going to have to, this is probably the most that Dan Brothers has ever been researched in the history of him being around. He died in 1932. That is insane. He played from 1879 to 1904. Jesus Christ, he played 25 years? We're leading the world in Dan Brothers talk. He played for 11 different teams in a time where there was only 10 teams. Let's see if any of these teams still exist. The Troy Trojans, the Buffalo Bisons, the Detroit Wolverines, the Boston Beaneaters, the Boston Reds, the Brooklyn Grooms, the Baltimore Orioles, the Louisville Colonels, the Philadelphia Phillies, they still exist, and the New York Giants, they still exist. If I'm not mistaken, the Boston Beaneaters are what the Boston Red Sox are now. Oh, no, they actually became the Braves. Shows how much I know about that. The Boston Reds, I believe, are the Red Sox. Or maybe they're not. Nope. They didn't. No, they didn't. They folded. I love that. Anytime you can get an old-timey baseball guy for me, like he hit 106 career home runs. We were talking about yesterday. I was talking about Mike Trout being a letdown in his career because he only had 393 or 396 home runs and barely got 1,000 RBI, and he's been playing for 15 seasons. This guy played 25 seasons in the dead ball era and has 1,296 RBIs, 296 more RBI than Mike Trout. And this is the first time I've ever heard about Dan Brothers. And he doesn't even spell it correct. It's Brouthers. Dan Brothers. He played in the time where your disability was your nickname. Like Mordecai Three Finger Brown, who threw a curveball because he lost 3 fingers or 2 fingers and only had 3 fingers on his hand in a lawn mowing accident. They didn't even have motorized lawnmowers at the time. So he had to have like got his hand hit by like a sickle or a scythe, right? That's the way this dude lost his hand, and that's what became his nickname, or lost parts of his hand. Back in the day, when your nickname was your disability, when your disability was your nickname, this guy was known as Big Dan because in 1879, whenever he was a player, he was 6'2". So he was a giant 6'2" in 1879. I love that. And this is coming from, I'm 5'10". So clearly I'm not a giant. But man, that guy, Big Dan, at 6'2", he would be a small baseball player right now. I wonder what the average size of a baseball player is in 2025. Oh, wow. Maybe, you know what? I'm an ass. I apologize. I'm an asshole. The average height of a Major League Baseball player is a little over 6'1", approximately 73.1 or 73.7 inches. Wow, so Big Dan, he'd be a big baseball player, even in today's MLB, which doesn't seem like there's got to be a lot of little dudes. Like that's got to be the Jose Altuve effect, where you got a dude that's 5'6" in the league right now. That is wild to me. I didn't think that baseball players were still that short. Now I got to look it up. What is the average height of a baseball player or of a football player? 6'2". Wow. We're breaking it down position by position. Offensive linemen are generally in the 6'2" to 6'8" range, anywhere between 270 to 350 pounds. Quarterbacks are anywhere between 6'2" and 6'6". Running backs can vary, but between 5'10" and 6'1". Wide receivers are typically between 5'11" and 6'4", while defensive backs are usually between 5'10" and 6'2". If people don't Google to figure stuff out, they are living their life wrong. I want to say the average height in the NBA is going to be like 6'8" or 6'9". And I was wrong again, 6'7". Wow. I'm learning a lot today. Literally nobody cares about the stuff that I find interesting. And I'm learning that as I get older. And somehow, some way, I continue to just do this stuff. I found a way to get 10 minutes of content out of Dan Brothers. I got to find, oh God, I wonder how expensive. I do this on Bob, Jim, and Pat. Ooh, I can buy a Dan Brothers baseball card for $5.99. They range between $4 to $42,000. Jesus Christ, there's a baseball card from 1888 for $42,000 right now. Anybody want to go in on that with me? We can get a Dan Brothers baseball card. We'll ship it between each other every 5 years. And then eventually, whenever I die before you, you can keep it. There's like a bunch of names on this list that I'm going to look up whenever the show is done, because I want to know who the hell these old-timey baseball players were, like Burley Grimes, Waite Hoyt, King Kelly. I know who Gaylord Perry is. Al Simmons. I know who Lee Smith is. Deacon White, Hoyt Wilhelm. I can't wait to see. I cannot wait to see who these players are. What a dumb effing way for me to have ended today's show. Just falling into a rabbit hole. Now you guys know what it's like to be inside my brain. You got to witness firsthand what it's like to be inside this monstrosity of a head. I apologize for the last 10 minutes of this show. But I got caught up in a rabbit hole, guys, and I hope that you were mildly or moderately entertained by me looking up information on Dan Brothers. Let me tell you something, Dan Brothers. I was debating on whether or not I should retire the Hulk Hogan voice, but I feel like the legend has to live on. So the Hulk Hogan voice is going to continue to move on. J-Train saying, great show. I don't know if that's facetiously or if that's sarcastically, but I thank you anyway, my friend. I appreciate the love and support. Once again, everyone, thank you so much for tuning into today's show. I realize it was weird. I apologize. I will try to get better. I more than likely won't. I know who I am as a human being, and I know my limitations. You should learn them as well. Once again, everyone, thank you so much. We'll see you a little bit later on, and have a good Tuesday. We'll see you tomorrow.